Look, depending on where you're at financially, if you found one of these coins in this video, there's a good chance that you could simply retire. Now, I'm being serious. The coins in this video are incredibly rare and valuable, and most of the time it's the smallest detail you need to keep your eyes peeled for that could mean the difference of a lot of money. So let's hop into this video. Up first, we have this small little penny coin that sold for $78,000. This coin is a 2001 D. That D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was produced. Now you're going to see along the top there's a little bit of what looks like erosion of the coin lettering in the word trust. That doesn't matter as much, but it does play a factor in why it sold for so much money. This one was graded by a third-party grading and authentication company called PCGS at a mint state 65. Now pretty much during the minting process, if something wrong occurs like on this coin, that could result in a lot of money. So when you flip the coin over, you'll see that this coin was accidentally muled with a Roosevelt dime reverse. Okay, so if you find this coin, you have to make sure that it's real. There are people out there that will try to shave coins in half and glue them together to make them appear to be just like this. That's where a third-party company like NGC or PCGS comes into play. If you ever buy or sell a coin like this, it needs to be authenticated. Again, $78,000 for this little penny coin. This coin actually sold last week as I'm making this video, and it sold for $93,000. Now this isn't your typical 1970 Washington quarter here. You have to be very careful because again, there's not the best people out there sometimes that will gold plate a coin like this to try to manipulate the public into thinking this is a real coin. Now this coin on your screen is indeed genuine, but what happened here was NGC graded it at a proof 66. Now I'll throw up a quick diagram showing the difference of a proof coin and a normally minted coin. What you need to know about this coin here is that it was accidentally struck on an 18 at 98 $5 gold coin. This is something incredibly unique. I have no idea exactly how it could have occurred. At this point, the edge and rim damage on the coin is just from the minting process. It's not going to negatively impact the value. Again, imagine finding this coin and being able to sell it for $93,000, $456,000 for this one little dime. And I'm going to tell you right now why it sold for so much money. So this is a 1975 10-cent Roosevelt dime that was graded by PCGS at a proof 68. Now we know what a proof coin is, so we know how shiny and lustrous it needs to be. So here's the deal. These coins typically come with a set of other coins. Now they all will have a small S mint mark around the date there. This one does not, even though it should have one. Now people get very confused because this coin looks very similar to the Philadelphia issued coin. The long story short, proof coins are typically minted at the San Francisco Mint. Those coins will have an S mint mark around the date. This is an error coin that should have had an S mint mark, but it accidentally does not. So if you have a 1975 Roosevelt dime that is a proof coin, that's the key right there. It needs to be a proof coin that's missing the S mint mark. Then you're in for a treat because this one sold for $456,000. Now again, you have to be careful because there are people that will get a Philadelphia normally issued 1975 Roosevelt dime and they will try to polish it to make it look like a proof coin. So the only really way to tell if you have this coin is if you get it authenticated and graded by a third-party company like PCGS or NGC. Now most of the time you're not going to have this coin because it's really hard to get, or else it wouldn't be worth this much money. I would get the opinion of at least 3 different coin experts before you send your coin off to get graded, because it's important to know that grading not only costs your time, but it also costs money. So keep that in mind before sending your coin off to get graded. I'll be really quick on this one, but this nickel sold for $33,600. Now this is a 1938D 5-cent Jefferson nickel that was graded by PCGS at a mint state 68 plus with the full steps on the back. I'll break this down and make it very straightforward. Essentially, we know that the highest achievable grading is 70. This one's only 2 points away, but there's also that plus designation after the 68. That all comes down to the person or people grading your coin. If they put a plus designation after, that will simply increase the value of the coin quite dramatically. Now, when I say full steps, you're going to look on the back center of the coin. This area right here is the highest point on the coin. It's the hardest to strike, and it gets worn down the quickest during the circulation process. By that, I mean if the coin goes out into pocket change and it gets worn down, that's the area that goes first. Now, believe it or not, collectors want coins that have the full steps on the back, but it only matters if your coin is in mint state condition. So if your coin has all of this going on for it and the toning, which I have not talked about yet, one of the first things you'll see on this coin is the yellowish gold color. Now that happens when the air will oxidize with the metals in the coin, causing this look. It can be either a good or a bad thing depending on one, the person buying the coin, what they think is attractive eye appeal, and two, if the toning is nice. Again, very subjective, but there are some tonings that can be very not pleasant on the eyes, if I could word it nicely. This one has a really nice color to it, so I can see why someone paid $33,600, $408,000 for this small little penny here. So this is a 1944S 1 cent coin that was accidentally struck on a zinc coated steel planchet. So what you need to know is that this coin graded by PCGS at a mint state 66. Now during the war efforts, they needed bronze for ammunition, so they transitioned into a zinc coated steel planchet. The only issue is they transitioned back into the bronze planchet in 1944. So this coin should have been struck on your typical bronze planchet, but it was accidentally struck on that zinc coated steel planchet. So what you need to know is that if your 1944 coin looks like this, you could be in for a treat because this one sold for $408,000. Now this is the exact opposite. This one sold for $504,000. Essentially the 1943 coin should have been struck on a zinc coated steel planchet, as most of them are, but this one was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet. Now this one was graded by PCGS at a mint state 63 brown. Now what do I mean by brown? Well, essentially most Lincoln penny coins can come either red, red brown, or brown. Now most of the time red is a more sought after color because it looks closer to the mint state condition and it has good eye appeal. It looks nice. I'll throw up a diagram of what that looks like. Now again, in this situation it's not always going to be the case. As you can see, $504,000 for a brown coin, that's completely fine, but you do see a good amount of nicks and gashes on this coin. That's why I got the 63 grade. If it was to have graded higher, it would have brought more money. Again, $504,000 just because this was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll definitely enjoy the video on the screen. I'll see you in the next video.